So welcome everyone. Welcome to LightWeavers. Please write your name in the chat so I can see who's here and welcome you. Dottie in cloudy Cleveland, yes. It's pretty cloudy here in upstate New York as well, but we're just going with it. And all right, I'm going to get started. Let's see. So I just wanted to start with a little bit of purification of the space that we're working in here. And I like to burn some sage. If you have some sage or Palo Santo or any kind of cleansing herb, it's really beautiful to start any kind of spiritual practice, meditation practice, by opening it up and, you know, kind of cleansing it and cleansing the space, your own energetic aura and the space that you are in, so that you can just come into a clean, purified space of new beginnings. Because we're going to be planting seeds with our intentions and with our actions, our words. So it's really beautiful to do that on a clean slate. So I like to just kind of you know, go around my crown, and I'm sending all of you this sage purification as well if you don't have any. So this is my offering to you. Hope that it can cleanse your sacred space as well. And beautiful. Let's get started. So let's call in the helping spirits and have them join us and help to drive forward the intentions that we have in our hearts, and to just really make this a beautiful experience for everyone, a healing experience. You know, my intention with LightWeavers has always been to really embody the light of who we are and really pour that forth into all the corners of the earth that need it the most. And as we know, our world needs this right now more than ever. So, you know, this is real. This is real activism right here. Like, this is not just us meeting and, you know, kind of doing these woo-woo practices. This is actually really helping relieve suffering. This is helping to heal the planet and to bring forth more of what we want, more of what we need right now to survive as a species, and also to just bring forth this new paradigm of how we want to live as restorers versus you know, takers and consumers. So we really want to move forward as a species of restorers, as restorers for this planet. So I'm just going to call in our teachers, our helpers, our guides, our power animals and guardian spirits, as well as Mother Earth, Pachamama, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, and you know, anyone else who wants to join. Maybe some fairies want to join in today, maybe some nature spirits like the hidden folk, the gnomes, just the little people. Whoever wants to join us today, may you be with us and help our intentions blossom and help heal the world. Thank you. So today we're going to be learning about journeying to the lower world. So in shamanism, there's 3 different worlds that you can travel within to meet helping spirits and guides and work with them to heal, to receive guidance, and to receive transmissions and insights and revelations. But I really wanted to work with the lower world today because it's just, it's where I've always, I tend to go into the lower world. It's just, as you practice shamanic journeying, you'll notice that you tend to go into one world over another. And for me, I love going into the upper world, which is much more ethereal and, just beautiful. And, the angels are there, and, compassionate spirits are there, and teachers in human form. But the earth world, the lower world within the earth, is very tangible, very earthy. And the landscapes are just very, palpable. When we really use our senses and bring our bodies into the experience, I can at least really feel the, just the beauty of the earth. And I know that I've been sitting in front of my computer a lot more than I've been wanting to these days. And it's just a wonderful experience to be able to connect with the earth through my meditation practice. And so really wanted to bring that in today, to invite you to do that as well. And I wanted to have you, and many of you may already have a practice of shamanic journeying. And actually, I would love to hear if you do in the chat. Let me know if you're a journeyer, like I am, if you love meditating and going into the earth, or going to meet your power animals, and that if it's helped you in the past, if it's proved to be a fruitful practice for you. I would love to hear that. So the lower world is where a lot of the times we'll meet our power animal. And that's why I really wanted to bring in the lower world, because I wanted us to meet our power animal. And you may have more than one, and I know I definitely have more than one, but sometimes there's a primary animal, power animal, and sometimes your different phases of your life, you'll be assigned a certain power animal or guardian spirit. So whoever it is that you're working with most right now will typically show up in your journeys. So I just wanted to check this chat here. Okay, so yeah, so as we go into the lower world to meet our power animal, we can receive, as I've said, very pertinent information to what you're going through right now. If you have a specific question, you can always ask a specific question. And we're going to be journeying today. I'll briefly describe how to do this process, and it's really simple and straightforward and fun, but we're going to be doing this together. And a message might even come for the group, for the sake of the group, for the highest interest of the group, or even for the world at large. So it's really powerful to do journeying together in a community like this, because we can share information, we can piece together messages, and we can help one another, evolve into this restorer species that we are moving towards as, as a global community. So, and then I plan on introducing my power animal, one of my power animals, and a message that she had for us, to kind of guide this session in a way, and to maybe, provide value or helpful tips for you. She's one to bring forth, very juicy information, I guess you could say. So stay tuned for that. That will be fun. And she also, I received an exercise yesterday that you can take home with you, and practice at home, which you might like as well. So, and we'll end with a quick 5-minute transfiguration process, which we usually do at the end of LightWeavers. It's kind of how LightWeavers started in the first place, was via this message from a calf that was transmitted to me, that, I asked, how can I best be of service to the earth, to, the animals who are suffering? And this was the response from the calf, which was to really hold the intention of growing the light that I already am out onto the earth, into the corners of the earth that needed it most. And, even focusing in on the face of an animal that you love, or that, needs healing. Even a person, of course, is always included in this. We're just animal lovers in this community. So of course I tend to speak in animal talk, but of course, you know, wherever there is suffering, you can emit that light and send it to that place. And just, you know, even imagine when we're transfiguring, working on the frayed threads of the web of life. You know, you can even imagine your light kind of melding together these frayed threads that are the tapestry of you know, of life, of how we are connected. And yeah, it's a beautiful process. So we'll be doing that for 5 minutes at the end together. So has anyone had experience with shamanic journeying or shamanic practices? I would love to hear if you have any teachers you love. I love to expand my own practice. I'm a student of Sandra Ingerman's, and I love her, and she's very straightforward with her teachings, very simple. She's been a shamanic practitioner and teacher for 30 years, so she knows her stuff. She's written lots of books. I've participated in many courses and trainings with her, and yeah, so a lot of my work grows from her knowledge that she's gifted me with. So let's begin with just a simple outline of the steps to journey to the lower world to meet with a power animal or guardian spirit. So you would basically begin by creating sacred space like we did just before, you know, as this session was starting. You can light a candle, you can burn sage, you can make an offering to the spirits that you're going to be working with. There's many ways to kind of create sacred space. It's really what appeals to you most. So you can even darken the room that you're in. You can definitely would want to put your phone in airplane mode. And if you like the sound and the just the vibrational effect of drums, you can play a drum track. You can play music that probably is best not to have lyrics, but like a heart expanding song. And you can, of course, drum or rattle yourself. These are ways to kind of just start to enter into that theta brainwave state, really start to relax, to drop in, know that you're leaving this world, you're leaving your everyday worries, you're leaving your to-do list, you're cast aside for now, and you're entering a new world. So when you're creating sacred space, just keep that in mind. Like, how can you cocoon yourself from the outer world? So then you would set your intention for where you want this journey to go. So you could even say, like, I would like to travel to the lower world to meet my power animal or connect with my power animal. It can be as simple as that. Or you could even say, there's something more specific that you want to know. You could say, I would like to travel to the lower world to meet my power animal, to receive certain to receive an answer around a certain question I have. And you could even fill in the blank of the question that you have right then and there. So it's already starting to plant the seed of where you're going with this, so that, you know, as you're entering the imaginal realm, the seeds that you're planting can start to manifest for you as you're using your imagination to sink down into this lower world. And the answers are coming to you. It's kind of like you're already in a creation and manifestation process, even with just by starting with the intention, which is true of, you know, life. Just intention is everything. So simply starting with the intention is just the perfect way to enter this world. And, you know, you can even ask, what do I need to know right now for my highest good, or for the highest good of all? These are kinds of questions that kind of just are open enough to bring in surprises, bring in beings that you may not expect. But, you know, things are starting to bubble and stir, and your intention sets that path. So then, as you're journeying, well, you're not journeying yet. As you start to journey, you always begin in a place in nature, a beautiful place in nature. So you really want to take in your surroundings. And this was something that was kind of new for me, because when I used to meditate, I used to kind of like leave my body and kind of just move to the stars and be in my ethereal world and, you know, kind of just visualize, maybe, because we're a culture that has been taught to visualize, you know, visualize what you want, to manifest what you want. But the beauty of shamanic journeying is that you're really bringing your body with you. and this is especially true of the lower world, but really in shamanic journeying in general, you're really bringing your whole body with you. And what that means is, when you are taking in your surroundings, you're taking in your surroundings with all your senses. So you're hearing the sounds around you. Are there seagulls flying around you? Are they, you know, are there birds cawing around you? Are there ocean waves crashing by a shore near you? Is like, where are your feet? Are you on grass? Are you on sand? Are you on the top of a mountain? Really feeling that connection as if you were there with your body. And then, you know, tasting the air, feeling the wind on your cheek. You know, is it strong winds? Is it a gentle breeze? You know, all these things are really important to take into consideration when you're journeying. You really want to use your bodily senses, because that's what shamans do. They bring their whole body. We don't just kind of leave our body. So let's see. So with the lower world, then what you want to do is locate a natural opening in the earth. So this is typically reached, you can typically reach the lower world with a tunnel, or just any kind of portal that is leading into towards the center of the earth. So, you know, maybe even a cave or the trunk of a tree, even just a regular opening. It can be anything. It could be a water source, a lake, a river, a stream, anything. You can dive into it. Use your imagination. You know, shamanic practices are all about embodying what you're imagining, and really being there, and really, you know, not watching a movie from afar or being detached from it, but really being inside that movie and really stepping into it. So when you reach the lower world, so you would be going through either like a tunnel, or you could be diving into this lake or a water source, and know that, you know, this might be a long tunnel, and you don't have to rush the process. You know, if you want to take your time with going through, like maybe you're going down a dirt path, really, again, feel your feet against that moist, cool earth. And maybe, you know, all around you is dark, but you can feel the roots of, you know, plants and trees. If you're in a tunnel, maybe you can feel the roots on the sides of you. You know, really take in everything and really feel that earth, smell it, taste it, be one with it, and it will just produce such beautiful results for you. So as you are going through this tunnel, you may see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's typical, but you know, nothing is typical actually. You know, you can see a light at the end of the tunnel, or you could, you know, just end up crashing into a new world, basically. So just be open to whatever wants to happen for your personal journey. And again, we want to stay focused on our intention. So you might want to bring in your intention again of like, I want to meet my power animal in the lower world, and I would like to know, you know, what I need to know right now for my highest good, for example. So you would repeat that, and you know, intention and breath will, if you start to get distracted, if you start to get hungry or something's distracting you, really come back to that focus by using, you know, either connecting with the drum beat that is playing or connecting with your breath, and repeating the intention that you originally had. So Dottie is saying, yes, I love that. Intention is everything. It is. It really is, in our world and in this world too, and in the lower world and the upper world, all the worlds. It's all about intention. So, yeah. So now you would have entered the lower world, and you may see like a being. And you want to go forward and move towards this being with excitement, and just knowing that you're safe, and that this being may have really exciting, important information for you. So again, you're taking in your surroundings as you're moving towards this being, or this being might be moving towards you, and you would really you would want to ask them, are you my power animal or guardian spirit? Because it might not be. It might just be a being that is there on your path. And then you would move on, and you would try to find your power animal or your guardian spirit. And so I say guardian spirit as well as power animal, because your power animal or guardian spirit could be a tree, an insect, a reptile, even a mythical creature, an element, of course. It could be an element. Any type of nature being, even like a fairy or gnome who we invited in. So they might be wanting to be present in your journey. So just open up to the unlimited possibilities of who wants to come to you, because these beings, we have to remember, really, whoever is showing up for us really loves us unconditionally, and is probably just as excited as you are to, you know, to connect with you, to send you a message, to give you a gift even. And that's where we would go next. You would ask them, do you have a message for me? Do you, you know, or what do I need to know for my highest good? How can I best serve, you know, the world right now? Anything that you want, you can ask. And just, again, we have to be open to how this response comes, because many times this being that you're working with may not speak. So using all your senses again is really crucial to receive the full picture, basically. They might not speak, so they might telepathically connect with you. They might just send you a message that you just have a feeling, a knowingness in your body, in your heart, and it's a knowing, you know. Or they might take you somewhere where they show you something that is a symbol or a sign that could be a message for you, that, you know, that they're helping you understand. So they don't always talk. So really just be open to whatever wants to be transmitted. And you can, of course, stay with your power animal as long as you would like, and ask them as many questions as you would like, and spend as much time as you would like with them. And, you know, and then when you're filled up and you receive that goodness from them, and those revelations, you can always ask for a gift, or they may even just, you know, want to give you a gift. So stay open. And then, yeah, as I like to, when I say goodbye, I say thank you and say goodbye. I always kind of ask them for like a last transmission, where maybe I ask them to, you know, touch my hands, for them to kind of transmit their strength and their power to me as I'm saying goodbye. And I really love that as a way to close the connection, versus just kind of being like, okay, bye, thank you. It's really powerful. So I invite you to try that if that sounds exciting. So that's a little bit about how you would travel to the lower world. And really at the end of that, when you disconnect from your power animal, you would return to the original place in nature that you began. And once you're there, you can start to bring your awareness and your presence back into your body by, you know, micro movements with your fingers and your toes, and really just slowly, gently waking yourself back up so that you are back in the room where you are sitting presently. So I love to, just as a last note about just journeying in general, I really do love to keep a notebook next to me. This is my latest notebook. I love it. I love to keep a notebook by my side when I am journeying, because I can forget. It's like you're entering the dream time almost. So everything is very fleeting, and all these revelations can happen, these powerful revelations can happen, but we can forget them as soon as we open our eyes, which is what happens to me all the time. So I love to really just record any insights, any revelations, any powerful messages that I get as soon as I open my eyes, because I then have books where I can refer back to like these really powerful journeys that I've had that I would have never remembered if I didn't record them by writing them down. So I really highly recommend that. So who wants to journey to the lower world to meet their power animal? Let's see. Just pop in the chat and just let me know. Are you excited to journey? Let's journey. I'm not going to guide this one as much as I usually do. I really want you to have your own experience, and I just explained how to do it. So I'm going to play the drum track for about probably 8 minutes or so. And I can't wait to hear what everyone discovers, and who the power animals are that show up, and the guardian spirits. So quickly here, I wanted to say, so Mel is saying, I took also an online class with Sandra Ingerman last spring. That was my beautiful intro to shamanic journeying. I was so moved by the experience. Yes, it's shamanic journeying really has changed my life. It's such medicine to my soul. And actually, this is something that we will be talking about, what is medicine to our soul? We're going to be talking about that a little bit later after we journey and after we hear the message from Owl, because what is medicine to your soul is really what is medicine for others. And we'll learn a lot about that in a little bit. So let's journey. I'm going to place a beautiful picture up so that you can look at that. You can gaze at it if you don't close your eyes. Oops, excuse me. This is an owl picture. Okay. So everyone just get comfortable, take some deep breaths. Maybe if you haven't already, just eliminate distractions. If you can draw your curtains, I know I can't, but if you can draw your curtains, that's always cozy and nice. Take some deep breaths, some grounding breaths. Exhaling anything you don't need, any stresses, any worries, any thoughts about your to-do list, just let those go. Let's leave the present worries and anxieties and everyday life responsibilities. We're just going to be journeying for about 8 minutes. That's not very long. So just allow yourself to really be in the moment, be, available to the magic that can happen when you drop in, when you set that intention and really drop into the lower world. So I'm going to play some drums. So again, you're setting your intention. You're starting in that beautiful place in nature that you love. You're taking in your surroundings, using all your senses. Take in the vitality and the life force energy that is surrounding you. Feel the air, taste the air, smell what the fragrances around you. Really feel your root connected to the earth, whether you're standing or sitting. Now look around for an opening in the earth. And move towards that opening. As you go through the opening or the portal, refocus on your intention. Take in your surroundings as you're moving through this portal. You may be dropping down, 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 down. Stay connected to your breath. And when you arrive into the lower world, look around you. What's there? What's the landscape? What's the climate? Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Listen to the sounds. And even connect with your body. Look down at your feet and your torso. Where are you standing? And look up to the sky, if there is a sky. And now looking around you, you locate your guide, your power animal. You ask them, are you my power animal or guardian spirit? Connecting with this spirit now. You can ask them what you need to know right now for your highest good, or for the good of all. Stay open for how you receive this message. Really stay connected to this power animal or guardian spirit. Take in their appearance. Maybe connect with them. You can embrace. You can hold hands, or paws, or fins, or wings. And maybe they have a special message or a gift for you. Receive that with an open heart. Maybe there's one last thing they want to show you. So they may take you somewhere, or they might point something out. But this last thing may have pertinent information for you, for your highest good, for the highest good of all. And thank your guardian spirit or your power animal. And you can have one last exchange with them, however that feels right. Now it's time to return back to the original place in nature where you began. So you can enter the portal where you came down through, re-enter that and move upwards until you reach the middle world where we are today. In that beautiful place in nature. And when you're there, just connect with the power of the sun, the rays, feeling those rays on your skin. Soak in the strength of the sun. You're still connected to Mother Earth and her energy, really soaking that up through your root. And just feeling strengthened and empowered by your exchange that you just had with your power animal or guardian spirit. Really feeling centered, confident, alive, grateful. Your heart feels full. Now start to take some deep breaths. Start to move your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can come back into the room and open your eyes. Welcome back. So if anyone wants to share a little bit about what they experienced, I love reading and sharing with everyone any gifts, any messages, any moments that were particularly special. I'd love to hear about them and share them with our community here. Okay, so let's move on as you're typing or maybe just relaxing and kind of just being with what just happened. I want to share a little bit about Owl and the message I received from Owl. But first I wanted to explain to you that so Owl is definitely one of my primary power animals right now. But interestingly, although she really wanted to be present in and be sharing in this session, she doesn't speak to me. So I don't like channel messages from her. She's more of like, she brings me places. I usually grab onto her talons and she brings me, like I float to places with her while she carries me. So I was like, I know you want to be the shining star of this session. Like, I know you have a potent message for me. So I need you to shapeshift into a being that actually speaks to me, because I want to transmit a message to my community from you. So she did that happily and became this like wild woman, this wild dark goddess medicine type woman. And she was able to really kind of transmit a message in words that was really, really beautiful and empowering. So I want to share it with you. But let's just see here. We have a message from Erica. Hi, Erica. So my spirit animal changed almost immediately when I was in the tunnel. I felt like my conscious spirit animal slipped away and my subconscious power animal appeared. As I let my mind sink away, the second power animal appeared so quickly, replacing the first. I thought that was neat. Yes, I've experienced that too before, actually. Very cool. The underground cave I was in had beautiful sparkling crystal icicles like structures above me. It was magical, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, a lot of the times I've had that experience where the animal that I think wants to come in is there, and then all of a sudden that animal becomes the animal that really wanted to come through and that was meant to come through. And I think a lot of the times, sometimes it's our resistance and sometimes it's our fixation on who we think should be there and who we think we're going to expect. And so maybe we see that image of that animal at first, and then we're like, oh wait, yes, you're turning into the animal that I actually really need to be communicating with right now. So awesome. Thanks for sharing, Erica. So here's the message from Owl. And I'm wondering if I should just read it to you. I don't know if it's distracting if I'm on the video, but I think it's fine. I was going to put the picture of Owl again up, but I think it's fine that I just read it to you. So Owl says, and this is from her as shapeshifted as this woman who, you know, I was dancing around a fire with, and she really was bringing me alive. Even serpents were present and, you know, dancing around the fire with us. And so here's what she says: wild woman, be who you are. Dance like no one is watching. Use the time of the darkness as your rudder. In the silence of the night, you will hear the voice of your heart, your soul. This inner knowing is your wild nature. She is calling you, beckoning you to respond to her, to indulge her, to honor her. Allow this part of you to come out of hiding. Throw off the shackles of conditioning, the lies you have been told to keep you feeling as though your wings have been clipped. I am here to remind you of your wild power, the power that grows and rises from your root to your crown. I am here to remind you that the stirrings you hear from your soul are to be taken seriously. As irrational and illogical as these tender desires that spring from the portal of your heart may seem, if you listen to these without fear of another witnessing you or judging you, you will set in motion the creation of a new reality that is unimaginable to you right now. Follow pleasure, follow desire, follow the unknown. Trust that this voice you hear is real. It is ushering you towards your true north. And discontent, this is valuable too. Know that where there is discontent, this is a signal as to where things must change in your life. Honor the woman inside of you, hair wild, fangs flashing in the moonlight as she twirls and dances around the fire. She is calling you to listen. You have been taught so well to distrust her, yet she is the one who will lead you home. So that is from Owl. And sometimes I ask for a last kiss type message, just like one last kiss. And this was kind of like, from her, it wasn't really a kiss, it was more of like a snake hiss. And she says, unlike the other animals that bring you medicine, mine is one that you will only find in the dark. So if you seek me, learn to come out at night, to pray silently to the stars and the moon, and soon you will see me on a branch up high, quietly watching over you, assisting you as you learn to become one with the power that guides you through the dark. So that's Owl's message for all of us. It's all about tapping into this inner wild woman, this one who has these desires but may be ashamed to follow them, to follow through on them, to take action in their direction. You know, following pleasure, also really honoring discontent. These are really important things that as a society we've been taught to really just kind of brush under the rug and say, well, my desires and my needs will, you know, will get dealt with at some other point. It's like she's saying, no, like you need to follow this desire, you need to follow these pleasures and what brings you pleasure. As this wild woman, this woman who flashes her fangs in the moonlight. I mean, this is amazing. Like, she's nothing like who we've been portraying ourselves to be out in the real world. And so if, you know, sometimes we have to start to be our wild woman self, you know, even in just small moments, even alone, if that's how we want to start. But we need to start honoring her. We need to start honoring the power we have that we've shoved to the side and has become our shadow side. So I really invite you, as you know, just bringing this gift of owl forward into your own life. I really invite you to honor this dark, wild person inside of you, whether you're a man or a woman, and really, really just don't think about what everyone else might say, might do, might think. If you are to really honor this deep, raw connection with yourself, your inner self, and that rudder in the dark. It's kind of like illuminating the path for you towards your own wild power. So we have Melissa here. Sorry, I couldn't see your name earlier, but now I know who it is. It's you, Melissa. So you have been taught so well to mistrust her. Yes, that was a quote from Owl. There is so much truth and resonance with that statement. We have been culturally brought up to ignore and dismiss that which is inside, and that which we need most to be authentic and hold. Absolutely, exactly. And we really have been taught to mistrust her. And so we do, you know, so often, even sometimes we'll get flashes of insight and like, oh, well, I really should act on this, you know? But then at the end of the day, we might talk ourselves out of it because we're just so conditioned to be the good girl, to give to others before ourselves, and to not listen to what is being whispered to us from the dark side, from our untamed side of ourselves. So yeah, beautiful. So an exercise that kind of came through yesterday when I was doing a meditation, a journey, was to help tap into this inner wild woman, because I journeyed again to meet this you know, owl as human. And what I received was a message for all of us who, you know, really are stuck on how we can best serve. Because I think that this is just something that often plagues us as change makers and as people who want to become, you know, who are paradigm shifters and who want to really lead our culture and our global society, our global community into, you know, a new form of species, a new restorer species that gives back and that respects the earth. Like, we always are wondering, I know at least for me, I'm always wondering, like, how can I still best serve? Like, I always want to really keep elevating my service and my gifts and my talents and refining and really being the best that I can be. So if you're feeling stuck, a great way to kind of just get out of the stuckness of like, what am I here to do? How can I best serve? Is to really write a list, just a simple list of what is medicine to your soul. So not even thinking about others right now, thinking about what is medicine to your soul. Because what Owl communicated to me was that whatever is medicine to my soul is the medicine that I'm here to bring. And, you know, it can feel very simple, but as you're writing the list, you can start to even make more lists, like coming out of like one thing. Like, for example, I wrote animals, of course, animals is one, nature is one, shamanic journeying is one, dancing is one, laughing is one, yummy vegan food is one. And from those, you can start to map out different branches that are even more specific. And the more specific you get, the more specific you can receive knowledge about your medicine, your particular medicine. So I thought it was a really cool exercise. And, if it feels like something that you would like trying out, I invite you to do so. So yeah, and actually, in the chat, if you want to just type in some things that move you that are medicine to your soul, I would love to hear that. I would love to read that. So let's transfigure. Let's do a little bit of transfiguration process. So, because we are born to, I know that if you're on this call, you're born to serve. You're born to really, heed the call of your soul, which is telling you to serve and to be a light in the world. So let's do that. Let's do that by embodying our light. So let's take a deep breath in, and I'm going to put a beautiful picture again, just for the transmutation part. Oh, and we had someone in the chat say something. Let's see. Dogs and plants, Erica. Yes, yes. And from the little that I know about you, that's exactly what you're studying to bring, right? The holistic canine, acupuncture or herbal medicine, and yes, herbalism, and the plants. So beautiful. Whatever feeds your soul, whatever's medicine to your soul is the medicine you're meant to bring. So it's a fun exercise, and you can take it as deep as you want in terms of, really growing the branches of what it is that is your medicine. So, okay, let's take some deep breaths in. Starting to really feel grounded and back in our bodies after our little trip to the lower world. We're back here in the middle world. We're back here in the present moment. And we know that there's suffering. We know that there's pain in the world, but we want to be lights. We want to be candlelight flames to those places that are feeling the pain, feeling the sadness, feeling the grief. So let's really start to focus in on the pilot light inside our core. It may be a flickering flame, maybe a little star, maybe a sun, whatever that is for you. Just focus on this inner light inside the core of your chest. Take more deep breaths in and exhale. And so as you go inside the core of your body, hold the intention that you want to experience the light that shines within your being. Now, as you really focus and concentrate on this intention, allow your imagination to really help you feel and see your internal light. So that sun, that star, that flickering candle flame, really see it. Give yourself permission to really start to let that light shine fully through you. So that light is going to start growing. And know that this light is always there and cannot be used up. And the capacity to share your light is endless. Your light can never be destroyed or taken from you. And you never have to worry about becoming depleted, as the source of this light is always abundant. So let's make this experience a full body experience again, like we've learned today. And begin by letting your light shine forth from the core of your being as it permeates every cell of your body, filling up every corner and crevice of your body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Feel that light, your own inner light experience, pulsating and connecting you outwards to the web of life that we're all connected to. So allow that light that is inside of you really to keep growing, pulsating outwards as it's pouring out and cascading out your aura and out into the room that you are in, and then the building that you're in. And once it's filled up the building you're in, let it pour forth into the community you live in. And now it's growing more and more, and let it seep into every crevice of the country you are in. Now let that light begin to cover the earth's surface. It can pour over her waters, her mountains, her lands, all the different landscapes, letting it sweep so far and wide that it covers every inch of Mother Earth's body. And you can even imagine this light going down deep into the earth, sinking into the earth and the soil like roots, anchoring this life force energy into her body. Now, if there's any animal or human or area of the world that you feel needs help, assistance, love, light, send your light there. Allow it to move and sink into that area, into that being. Let that being or area absorb all your light. You can even imagine their faces, their happy, delighted faces, that they get to receive your light. They are so happy, they feel blessed. Keep radiating this light and holding it as it kisses the earth and all her beings. And if you sense a dark spot, allow your light to pour into that corner that needs it. Beautiful. Now use your breath and intention to draw your light back in. And you're still filled up, but you're becoming more present, and you start to bring your awareness back into your body. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers and stretch your neck, stretch your shoulders, whatever you need to do to kind of come back here now. You can open your eyes. And come back into the present. Now you're filled up with your own light and you feel even more powerful and alive. Beautiful. So if there's any comments or anything anyone would like to share, please do in the chat. And I just wanted to let you know that if you enjoy this type of work, if you enjoy doing shamanic journeying, or if you just love being nourished by guided meditations like the ones that we experience here in LightWeavers. I do still have some spaces for one-on-one mentorship, so I'm definitely always open to receiving emails. If you're interested, just let me know. I'm here. Love to serve you in the way that I best serve at this time. And yeah, so my email is kate@visionaryveganwoman.com. So just shoot me an email. And if you're interested in the mentorship. Erica says, I love that one. Thank you. Can't spread the light quick enough. Yes, exactly. We can't. And you know, this is, I mean, that was only probably not even 5 minutes, but actually just think about how powerful that was. So I really recommend that we do this practice of transmutation and really just living our light and being our light and spreading our light by doing a practice of focused transmutation each day, 5 minutes. You know, it really can make all the difference. It's the activism, the sacred activism that, you know, I was speaking of at the beginning of this call. It's all about what we want to do. And what we want to put out into the world. We can embody that in like 5 minutes, you know, of powerful, concentrated, focused intention to be the light. Yes, she will definitely be practicing that one. Okay, often. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, I love everyone. I'm sending you all blessings and light and love and healing goodness. And we'll see you for the next edition of LightWeavers next month for the next full moon. Sending so much love. Bye, everyone. Yes, blessings and goodness to you too. Take care.